And here at the LeMieux Eyelashes, when I first walked up to the A element, I thought, oh, this is, this is all right. We've jumped lots of angled hedges and this is another angled hedge. And then we've got the ditch in the middle, which is actually going to be full of water, which adds another little element or dimension to the question. I think it's very important that as a rider we don't get drawn down to look at the ditch, stay on your line, and it isn't until you get to the other side of the ditch that you see this incredible angle to the last element, where sort of everything is encouraging you and pushing you out to the left. So one little jinx or to the right over the ditch behind you puts you on an impossible line to hear. So it's going to be so crucially important that you keep those horses between the leg and the hand and in that tube and hold that straight line to get a good passage through that final element. But we could see quite a lot of reactive riding here. Maybe one stride to the ditch, two, or even a two and a paddle over the third element. But the angle here is really acute and makes it very difficult. Oh, I think it's fantastic. I think Eric's done a super job, and it's certainly badminton. There's a lot of the iconic fences that are in this year's course, and the flow of the course I think works really nicely. You've got a nice few fences to get the horse and rider into the rhythm, and those early combinations set them up then for the sort of first intense question in the Huntsman's Close, and then a couple of massive let-up fences on their way to the lake. But they are really helping the riders stay in that rhythm, go through their gears early on. I think the first sort of jump into that water is a big fence on landing. I think you'll notice that there's a big drop in there, but nice to get their feet wet, nice to see that crowd around the lake and how exciting for the riders. But I think at that point really concentrating on, which they all will be, where they are, keeping their foot on the, keep that rhythm all the way around that top end, because it's a long way before you then need to go through your gears and get them into the correct canter to jump into the lake, and then moving away from the lake, which in itself is an intense question. You've got a couple of nice straightforward fences and a little bit of time where leaving the lake area down to the next intense section down at the Vicarage V area. I think you've got a nice bit of time, one-to-one time with your horse, where you can really sort of process what's been going on, how they're feeling, and just sort of reboot for the second half of the course. And I think for me that's a special time along that gallop stretch. And then the Broken Bridge really then introduces you to the next intense section of fences, and they come thick and fast really, with lots of questions, but lots of nice but imposing let-up fences that you can really take out of your stride, just do small rebalances, but it doesn't break the flow of the course. And all the way to the end of the course here, you've got the big imposing oxers there downhill, moving the last fence so it's on a straight line, and as you come into the main arena, I think it's a massive plus, and a welcome sight to see those finishing flags. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the horses and riders go out on cross country day, and I think they've got a lot to get their teeth into, and lots of questions, but fair questions.